IHorizon Worlds. This is Meta News. I'm El Blanco. This is the Blanco's business segment, and tonight we're gonna do a little. We're gonna have a little conversation about the economy, what's going on right now, and in particular, we're gonna talk about funding. We have a lot of people now concerned about what's going on with the banks, as well as you hear all the political talks about what's going on with the economy. Even the housing market, they're waiting for the next housing market bubble. And all of these are terms that, if you're not in the industry, you don't understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, right. Okay, so we're gonna try to make it a little simpler, a little simpler. Okay, so every so often, the way this monetary system work that we have here, um, money is created in a certain way, and in the ways that money is created, it's based on some type of or loan out was created. And because of these things, we always have cycles in our money in our monetary system, in which everything gets strained, and you have things like inflation, and then they say recessions, and they say depressions. Well, the government rarely like to use those words, but that's what's really going. That's what's happening now. So the situation just happened like not too long ago, and it's been talked about for the last 2 to 3 weeks when the Silicon Valley Bank itself, they had to close its doors because they could not satisfy returning all the money when they came at one, based on the risk that the bank could have went bottom up. And that's actually what made it go bottom up, when everybody came to get their money based off of an economic scare. And the economic scare is real because people who invest money and put money away into deposits in order to earn money down the line, that money is either needed to be generating money, or they can be putting that money elsewhere. And then when it's a chance that that money can't move, because they want to put it in safer holdings. So why am I telling you this? Because typically, when it comes to investing, typically to do significant investments in this particular society, you normally have to have 3 million or $5 million or more, right? You have to reach certain standards, and by which they will call you an accredited investor. And to be an accredited investor, they have different parameters you have to meet, and you can look those things up with the Security and Exchange Commission, the SEC. You can get online and you can look up all the things that I'm talking about, because I'm just going to give you a surface understanding, not to get too deep, so as to not lose you in the conversation, because I'm gonna give you a lot of terms that I still must say in order for you to be able to go back behind me and look into it. Well, the Security and Exchange Commission, that we call the SEC, they have different programs by which you can be an investor. Some require you to have at least $100 million, and you have to be making $100 million. Well, some cases you can have $100 million, or you can be having a net worth of $1 million, or you can be making $200,000 a year to be allowed to participate in certain type of investments. But then they have other programs, and you can look those programs up, in which they allow the common people, the regular people who don't have that kind of money. They will allow you to do crowdfunding. That means you have the ability, as groups of people, to raise those millions of dollars and then go in and do major type investments that turns out to generate millions and billions of dollars. So that's a term you need to look into. It's called crowdfunding. And then you can move as what they would call a limited liability partnership, or you can form a what's the word I want to use? An S corporation, because an S corporation really consists of individual investors coming to form a membership. I think up to 100 people can be a part of an S corporation, in which all that is really you're creating a fund that the S corporation is the manager of that fund, basically. But you could actually form a pool, and do crowdfunding. You can raise those funds, and the SEC will allow you, under certain parameters, to come and enter into that market, but as that. And then there's other things that you'll start to learn when you start looking into the Security and Exchange. You'll start learning things like private equity. So that's one of the most important words right now, because when the money markets aren't performing as well, or they're not performing like they should be, because of what's going on now with the monetary system, with the banking system, and with all these funds that are trading right now at risk of going upside down, which means a balloon, like we said before, then private equity is one of the only ways that money is going to be getting created outside of the public realm of the basic money markets, where you can literally go to an investor and he can look at your business plan, he can look at your financials, he can look at your team, he can make these determinations and say, hey, I will give you 5 million for that or 10 million for that. But when you have the market upside down and everybody's tight with money, money doesn't get loaned that fast. So you have to go through different means and different ways to raise money, where it could come from other avenues, such as an IRA, a self-directed IRA, where someone can take their funds that they already have in a company they work with, which is going toward their retirement, in which they can take those funds and put them into their own self-directed IRA to be able to invest. So it's different ways money moves. You just have to learn about it and you have to be familiar with it. And so tonight I'm just giving you these terms and giving you these insights so you can start looking into these things, and the people of Horizon World will start understanding how money works if they keep watching Meta News and keep getting this private information I'm sharing with you. Keep following us and staying in tune with all the other things that's going on in Horizon, because the things that they're doing in Horizon, they're in most cases doing on the outside. So we're trying to bring a lot of skills here, and we're trying to share this information, and we're trying to make Horizon World community stronger and better. And tonight you've been listening to the Meta News. And if you want to follow us, make sure you go to the YouTube and YouTube channel. It is Meta News for Horizons with an S VR. That's Meta News for Horizon. No, I'm sorry. That's Meta News for Horizon Worlds VR. Excuse me. And that's the YouTube channel, and that's being brought to you once again by Miss Rocks of Meta News. And thank you for watching the show tonight. You have been watching the Blanco Business News segment, and good night.